Namaste YouTube Coven, welcome back to the mat and welcome to today's brand new yin yoga practice. In today's flow, we're going to be working to celebrate and honour the winter solstice, also known as Yule. So the winter solstice marks the beginning of winter as we go through, don't leave me. Oh no, as we go through the longest night of the year, the shortest day of the year. So working with a kind of time of silence and of reflection during the darkness of the longest night before we awaken with a new sense of renewal, with rebirth, with transformation, with kind of an energy to go ahead into a new year, into a new season as the sun slowly begins to return to us. So today's practice is going to be yin yoga focused, looking to release any tension going on in the body. And alongside the yin yoga practice today, she's back. We're going to work through some journal prompts. So some journal prompts, about 3, are going to pop up onto the screen throughout today's practice. Now you can answer them in your mind here on the mat, maybe write them down here on the mat, or you can come back to them later on. They are in the description box below. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous. So you can light any incense, any candles that you'd like. You can grab your nearest yogi animal. This is Luna, and you're going to find one block. And then from here, excuse me best friend, we're going to come into a child's pose. So bring the big toes to touch, placing that block just underneath the forehead, ready to relax, hello best friend, all the way down. So relaxing the arms, big toes touching, knees a bit wider than hips width apart. Taking as much shuffles as you need to get comfortable. Opening up this circle, beginning the practice with a beautiful deep breath in through the nose. And a slow breath all the way out. Starting to take some really beautiful full breaths in and out. Balancing out your inhales with your exhales, starting to tune out from any worries, any stresses that perhaps you're dealing with before you got on the mat. After you get off the mat, we don't need them right now. Put them aside and dedicate this time to you and to your well-being. So working through today's journal practice and yoga practice with complete awareness of how we're feeling, both in the physical body and in the spiritual one. So the first journal prompt is going to come onto the screen now. Maybe you answer it here in the mind, maybe you write it down or come back to it later. Giving ourselves one more minute here. Before all together we inhale and we exhale. With your forehead on the block, just gently begin to roll it from left to right, massaging the space between the eyebrows, going all the way down the pressure points of the eyebrows. Before all together, we inhale. And gently on your exhale, flip the hand to the mat. Roll the body into tabletop. Just popping that block away for now. Giving a little bit of love to your familiar if they've joined you on the mat. And then from here, let's just start to ease out the spine with a little bit of freedom of movement. So maybe taking some gorgeous cat-cow stretches. Maybe taking spinal circles or waves, anything that feels good to you. If you're new here today, like I said, this is Luna, the resident yogi dog. She likes to ignore me 99% of the time until I roll out a mat and I start to film. Beautiful. And then when you're ready from here, you're going to walk the hands out, sliding first onto the forearms and then extend the legs behind you. Coming briefly to meet me in Sphinx pose. So coming into this gorgeous back bend to open up the heart chakra. So during the holiday season, during these darker months, sometimes we tend to bottle up a lot of emotions, maybe thoughts, memories. We get a little bit nostalgic during the winter months, and that's just because it is easier to see things, ironically, in the dark. It opens up our third eye a lot more, so we find ourselves reflecting a lot more on what's been, what's coming up, and where we are right now. So roll the shoulders away from the ears, pulling the hips down to the earth, and start to activate your Sphinx. Embracing that gentle warmth that comes into the shoulders, but really starting to focus on your breath, sending your breath to the base of the belly. Luna. Two minutes here. And if you are a fan of back bends, maybe you explore seal pose by walking the hands to the edges and starting to lift the chest here. And one more minute. Keep breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. 10 more breaths, Coven. Before we inhale and we exhale. If you're in seal with me, gently relax down to the forearms in Sphinx pose. Bring one hand on top of the other, lift the elbows and relax down. Giving the lower body a little bit of a wiggle out here. Just loosening that kind of energy in the lower spine. Before we start to extend the left arm, I'm going to move to broken wing pose. So start to release the weight of the world on the shoulders. We extend the left arm, bringing the hand flat and gaze towards the right hand side. Using that right hand for support, start to roll on to the left shoulder. Remembering you can soften the pose by rolling further onto the chest, or you can intensify the pose by stepping right foot behind the left leg. Aiming to stay here again for 2 more minutes. Placing anything under the head to make it a little bit more comfortable. Keeping your focus on the breath, perhaps the sound of the music. One more minute. Inhale. And we exhale. Moving out of this pose with care, use that right hand as support as you roll the body into the center. Avoiding any animals that are joining you on this mat, immediately extend the right arm. Left hand you use as support and roll onto the right shoulder, softening the pose by rolling more onto the chest, intensifying the pose by, by stepping left foot behind the right. Again, getting yourself comfortable for 2 minutes. Keep breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. One more minute. Together, we inhale and we exhale. Gently from here, use that left hand as support as you briefly roll the body into the center, relaxing right arm by the left, big toes to touch, coming to meet me in crocodile pose for a moment. Letting the body just relax here, completely heavy. Before we slide the hands to the chest, on your inhale, open the heart, coming to meet me in upward facing dog, creating length through the crown of the head. Inhale, exhale, bend into the knees. Oh my God, look at the mess. Bending into the knees. We're going to come into sleeping swan pose, also known as pigeon pose. So, making sure that you have that block nearby, using any pillows, anything to support the chest. We bring right knee to the right wrist and wiggle that foot across. Tuck left toes under to lift up and slide all the way back. Popping a block underneath that right hip just so we can find support. We're going to relax all the way down, coming onto those forearms. As the second journal prompt pops onto the screen now. Remembering you can answer it here, or you can answer it in your mind, or answer it later. 2 minutes here. Being honest, as truthful as you can if you are answering the journal prompt. Or if you're simply holding the pose, keep breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. One more minute. Together, we inhale and we exhale. If you need longer, here in your journal prompt or your pose, I invite you to press pause on the video and take as long as you like. If you're ready to come and take the stretch to the other side, first bring the hands to the mat to lift up, and you're going to move that block to one side. Playing around with a little side body stretch from here, we're going to allow the weight to shift over to the right hand side, untuck the left leg and slide the left leg forward, immediately coming to a hamstring stretch. Start to forward fold over the left leg, so right knee stays bent and we forward fold here. 10 breaths. Inhale, lift your gaze. Exhale, rock the body up. From here, cross the ankles or swing legs to one side to reset gently in a tabletop position. And we're going to take the same stretches to the other side, coming on to the third and final journal prompt. So slide left knee to the left wrist and wiggle that foot over. Tuck and the right toes under and wiggle the leg back. Popping that block underneath the left hip, start to relax down and find your pose. So, as I said, the third and final prompt is going to come onto the screen now, so answer it as truthfully as you can. Answering it here, answering it later, it's completely up to you. But 2 minutes we stay in pigeon pose on the left hand side. One more minute. If you need longer, in your prompt or in your pose, I invite you to press pause here. Or, if you're ready to come out with me, we inhale and we exhale. Gently, beginning to bring the hands to the mat, we're going to allow the body to roll to the right, left hand side. Lift the right leg up and swing it all the way around, coming into that hamstring stretch. We inhale, find length. Exhale, forward fold all over the right leg, all the way over the right leg. I'm falling apart in my yin's practice. Just 10 breaths here, breathing in through the nose and out. Before we inhale, lift your gaze. Exhale, roll the body up. This time, you're going to bend both knees, bringing the feet flat, and briefly come to an angel pose. So wrap your arms around the legs, giving yourself a little bit of a crutch here. Gently lifting the gaze, moving into one final pose. We're going to come into supported fish. So you're going to place that block just in the middle of the mat, and you're going to lower yourself onto it. So we want that block in between the shoulder blades. So give it as much of a wiggle as you need to get it comfortable. You'll know when you've found it because the back of the head will come down to the mat. You'll be able to roll open the shoulders quite comfortably and extend the legs. If it feels too far down for the head, you are more than welcome to place another block underneath the head or a pillow. But closing today's gorgeous winter solstice practice with a few deep inhales and exhales in our back bend. Remembering that sometimes in our back bend, sensations of anxiety or stress can arise. Acknowledge these with kindness, with compassion, before keeping your focus on your breath. One more minute. Sometimes, Coven, our body is craving a back bend, a heart opener. So if you know this is what you're needing, I invite you to stay here a little longer. If you'd like to move out of it with me, then gently begin to bend into the knees, bringing one foot flat, bring another, and slowly allow the body to roll to one side of your mat, coming off the block and taking your hands underneath the head like a little pillow here. Before keeping the head heavy, we slowly begin to blink the eyes open back into the room. Pressing the hands to the mat, start to lift the chest all the way up, meeting me in one final comfortable seated position. Rolling shoulders away from the ears and bringing hands to prayer heart center. And taking a beautiful deep breath in through the nose. And a slow breath out from here, bowing low with love and with gratitude to the strength of our mind for coming to the mat, to the strength of this online community for the energy and support. And from the bottom of my heart, thanking you for allowing me into your yoga journey today as we celebrate the magic of the winter solstice. I hope this practice allowed you to reflect and embrace the silence that the longest night of the year will bring us before we move in to the winter months and the light starts to return to our lives. If you enjoyed today's practice today, I would appreciate any kind of support for my little channel, but maybe liking this video or even subscribing. Alongside the journal prompts, I have also included a link to my vlog I made last year on the best ways to celebrate the winter solstice. So if you're looking for more ways to bring a little magic to your life, you can follow that link now. But thanking you so much for meeting me here today, and I hope you have a blessed and joyful winter solstice. From the bottom of my heart, Coven, blessed be.